Hi boys and girls, it's Lynn from SheNANNAgans and welcome to Storytime. Now the book today that I'm going to read is called Mr. Little's Noisy Boat and it was written by Richard Fowler. And this is a story about Mr. Little who goes out on a quiet fishing trip. But guess what? It's not that quiet. There's lots of strange noises coming from his boat. So let's go inside and see what happens. Here we go. Mr. Little's noisy boat. Mr. Little was getting ready to go on a quiet fishing trip when he heard a flopping and flapping sound coming from the bow of his boat. So that's the front of his boat. He looked under the tarpaulin, which is a cover, and found a sea lion painting the foredeck. Wow, I bet he got a surprise finding that on his boat. A swishing and sloshing sound came from inside of the cabin. So Mr. Little pushed open the porthole. That's the porthole, and it's a window on a boat. And found, I wonder what he's going to find in there. What do you think? Let's see. An octopus washing the window. They look pretty clean, don't they? A twanging, rustling sound came from the rope and tackle locker. That's in here. When Mr. Little opened the lid, he found a parrot sorting out the fishing lines. I think he's helping Mr. Little because Mr. Little will use those when he goes fishing. Can you see the octopus? That's right, he's just over here, he's watching. Then he heard creaking and thumping sounds coming from the stern of the boat. That's the back of the boat. Mr. Little moved the rudder, so you use this when you're steering your boat, and found, what do you think might be there? Have a look. That's right, an old dog brushing off barnacles with its tail. And barnacles are little sea animals that often live underneath boats. So he was brushing them off. Can you see the fish? A plip, plop, plip, plop sound came from the lower deck. So he opened the hatch and found, what's going to be in there? A turtle bailing out the bilge water. That's the water that was below deck, and you need to get that out of your boat. You don't want it sinking. Then Mr. Little heard a squelching, slithering sound coming from an old sea chest. Wow, looks a bit like a pirate chest, doesn't it? I wonder what's in there. What on earth can that be? Said Mr. Little. He lifted the lid and out popped a horrible sea monster. Free at last, he said. Whoa, I'd get a fright if that was on my boat, would you? the sea lion, the octopus, the parrot, the dog, the turtle, and Mr. Little were so frightened that they all jumped onto the wharf. Look at them, they've jumped out of the boat straight onto the wharf. So that's the land next to the boat. And with a flop, a flap, a swish, a slosh, a slap, a twang, creak, a thump, a plip, plop, a squelch, a slither, and a very loud splash. The sea monster slid overboard and swam away home. And he's gone. So now I think that Mr. Little can get back onto his boat and go fishing. I wonder if he'll take all those animals with him. What do you think? And that is the end of the story. And there is Mr. Little's boat. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.